Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I will be back tomorrow, so I will see you then. But today I have some more video notes for you to kind of give you a refresher on writing parallel and perpendicular equations of lines. So just a quick reminder that parallel equations, so two lines that are parallel, have the same slopes. And then two lines that are perpendicular have opposite reciprocal slopes. And what that means is that we're going to flip the slope and change the sign. Okay? So that's just a quick reminder for you. And then we're going to use point slope formula today. So I'm going to also write that here. Y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. So we're going to use that when we write parallel and perpendicular equations. Okay, so let's look at some examples of writing parallel equations. The first one says, write the equation of the line that passes through the point -2, 7 and is parallel to the line y equals -4x plus 1. So parallel tells me I'm going to use the same slope. And this is already in slope-intercept form, so I know that my slope is the number in front of x. So my slope is going to be -4. And then my point, -2, 7, is going to be x1 and y1. Okay, I always label those so that when I write my equation, I know where everything gets plugged in. So I actually don't need that. So y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. And then I'm going to rewrite that with my x1, y1, and slope plugged in. So y minus y1 is 7. Slope is -4 times x minus x1 is -2. So minus -2 is actually plus 2. And then I do 2 steps to simplify this. So I'm going to distribute y minus 7 equals -4 times x is -4x. And then -4 times 2 is -8. My last step is to add 7 to both sides to get y by itself. So I'm going to get y equals -4x minus 1. And that's the equation of the line parallel to this line that goes through -2, 7. Okay, let's do another example that's not quite as straightforward. So this one's also going to be parallel. So that tells me I'm going to use the same slope. And I have my point right here, but in order to get the slope, I'm going to have to change this so that it's in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. I get -3y equals -x plus 9, and then I'm going to divide by -3. So I get y equals, this is like a 1 right here, -x is -1x, so I get two negatives make a positive 1/3 x, and then 9 divided by -3 is -3. So my slope, because it's parallel, is going to be the same as this slope, so my slope will be 1/3, and then my point that I'm going to use is 3, -1, so I'm going to label that x1 and y1. Now I'm ready to write my equation and plug in these numbers. So my equation is y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. I'm going to plug in each of these three numbers in the correct spot. So y minus y1 is -1. So minus a -1 is really plus 1. Remember, our signs always change when we plug them in. M equals m, which is 1/3, times x minus x1 is 3. I'm going to distribute and move this positive 1, and then I'll be done. So y plus 1 equals 1/3 x, because 1/3 times x is 1/3 x, and then 1/3 times -3. You can put that in your calculator. Remember, if you want to put a fraction in your calculator, hit the math button and scroll over to frac. Okay? So 1/3 times -3 is -1. Okay, and then I need to subtract 1 from both sides. So y equals 1/3 x minus 2, and that is my equation in slope-intercept form that is parallel to this equation. Okay, I'll give you just a second to write those both down. Feel free to pause the video if you want to copy something down. And we're going to continue. So we're going to write perpendicular equations now. It says write the equation of the line that passes through the point 4, 3 and is perpendicular to the line y equals 2x minus 4. This is a pretty straightforward one. Perpendicular tells me I'm going to flip my slope and change the sign. So I'm going to write myself a little note there. Flip and change sign is what perpendicular means. My slope...
Hey, Maya Todberg to the high school office, please. Maya Todberg, high school office.
Sorry about that, guys. Okay, my slope is a 2 because it's already in slope-intercept form. But I'm not going to keep that slope. I'm going to flip it and change the sign. So I'm going to put 2 over 1, and then I'm going to flip that to 1 over 2, and this is positive, so mine will be negative. Okay, so there's my slope. Negative 1/2. And then my point is 4, 3, and I'm going to label that x1 and y1. Then I can write my equation y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1 and begin to plug things in. So y minus y1 is 3 equals slope is negative 1/2 times x minus x1 is 4. Okay, so then I'm going to have y minus 3, and I'm going to distribute. Negative 1/2 times x is negative 1/2 x. Negative 1/2 times negative 4. So half of 4 is 2, and 2 negatives make a positive. Then all I have to do is add 3 to both sides. So I get y equals negative 1/2 x, and then 2 plus 3 is 5. So that is the equation of the line perpendicular to this line that goes through 4, 3. All right, we have one more to do, and then you guys can get to work on your assignment today. So it says write the equation of the line that passes through the point negative 5, 1 and is perpendicular to the line 5x plus 3y equals negative 21. Perpendicular, again, is going to tell me to flip the slope and change the sign. But first I have to find the slope. This is not in slope-intercept form, so I have to rearrange my equation so that it is in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. I get 3y equals negative 5x minus 21. Then I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. When I divide on the right-hand side, I'm going to distribute that to both terms. So I get y equals negative 5 over 3. That does not divide evenly, and it does not reduce. So I'm just going to write negative 5/3 x, and then negative 21 divided by 3 is negative 7. So the slope originally is negative 5/3, but my slope is going to be flipped with a sign change. So I'm going to have a positive slope, and it's going to be 3/5. I'm going to circle mine. Then I have my point, which is negative 5, 1, and I'm going to label it x1 and y1. So now I'm ready to write my equation, plug stuff in, and simplify. So y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. Y minus y1, I'm going to look down here and see that it's 1. Okay, so y minus 1 equals slope is 3/5. X minus, and x1 is negative 5. So minus negative 5 is really plus 5. Then y minus 1 equals 3/5 x. I'm going to distribute the 3/5 times x is 3/5 x. And then 3/5 times 5. Put that in your calculator. 3/5 times 5 is a 3. So we're going to do plus 3 because those are both positive. Then I'm going to add 1 to both sides so that y is by itself. And I get y equals 3/5 x plus 4. I hope you guys have had a great week without me. I'm missing you guys, so I'm excited to come back tomorrow. Make sure you work hard for the sub. Make sure you are showing your work on every problem. Do as much as you can in class, and what you don't finish is homework. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.